Hello and welcome to another edition of Gaming News. Anyway, gaming news voice aside, let's get cracking. So some details about Valve. First of all, there's a couple of things Valve have been announcing lately. Well, they've been announcing loads of things that, there's so much going on at Valve. A couple of things that they've announced a little while ago now, but are starting to come into fruition. They announced a couple of things. They announced Big Picture Mode. Now, those of you who haven't heard of it, it's essentially a mode for Steam, and it's due to come out in September into beta. Essentially, it's a simple, easy-to-read navigation specifically designed for TV screens, and it's got full controller support. It basically enables you to chill back on the sofa, play your favourite PC games with a controller, should you wish to do so. All of the GUI is designed in this mode so that it works with a controller, and it's slimmed down and cut down for use specifically on a TV. Of course, if you're going to be playing your Steam games using this mode on a TV with a controller, the game of course needs to support a controller input. So some games will be more suitable than others to use this mode if you're going to be chilling on a TV in your living room, say for instance. But you can switch inputs at any time to go back to a mouse and keyboard. Also, another and probably more exciting thing from my point of view for new developers is something Steam are calling Greenlight. Now, they've announced this project, and that is also coming to Steam very, very soon. Now, this is a system that enlists the community's help in picking some of the next games to be released on Steam. So, game developers post any information on the game they want on Steam, ranging from videos to screenshots to just information itself in this section, and actual gamers vote for the games they want to see on Steam. So developers can get feedback and use the responses from Steam to actually shape their game, and they can post their games at a fairly early stage and get feedback and use that to their advantage. So that's a really, really exciting feature that Steam are bringing out, and I think that will really, really help games developers improve their game. Moving on now, keeping with kind of Valve, moving on to Global Offensive. I'm not so much going to talk about the game though, but I wanted to focus on something else. Now, obviously Global Offensive is just around the corner, but if you haven't already seen, there's a new cinematic trailer that has just been released. Now, you probably are not that excited about it. You think, what's the point? But when you put into context that the entire trailer was done on Valve's source Filmmaker, and it wasn't CGI, you start to realise just how amazing both the trailer and the actual program are. Now, I put the link for the trailer in the description, so please check it out. It really is really good. The source Filmmaker that they use is a free tool that can be downloaded now on Steam. They released it a little while back, and it allows people to make trailers based on game actions within the source engine. So what you can do is you go into the program, and it allows you to record action from the game, or from a source game. It puts these actions into the engine, into the source Filmmaker, and you can play back and rewind and forward. You can then tweak the entire elements. You can tweak the player's movement, you can move their limbs, you can move their lips, you can set lights, you can change cameras, and you can make this entire cinematic environment just using the source engine, and it really is phenomenal. It's a super powerful program. I recommend you go check it out. I'll put the link, as I say, to the trailer down below in the description, so check that out and get on Steam if you've got Steam. Well, who doesn't have Steam? And download Source Filmmaker and give it a go. Moving on now to Medal of Honor. There's been a little bit of new information released on Medal of Honor, which is coming out. The game itself is coming out in October. They've released some information on a game mode that's going to be in Medal of Honor, a new game mode called Hotspot. Now, the mode essentially, it's kind of a blend really of other quite popular modes seen in other games, but I'll let you make your minds up. The mode, and I quote, sees 5 caches spread around the level, and the first team to successfully attack or defend 3 of those caches is deemed the winner. So essentially there's 5 caches around the level. They're randomly spread out, so they're different every time. One team has to attack 3 and blow up 3 of them. the other team obviously has to defend 3 of them. And that's how the game mode works. It is a take on a couple of others, but it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. One other notable thing that they've mentioned about Medal of Honor is that each class has different abilities. Now, each class has different sprint speeds and certain other abilities that are better or worse depending on which class you choose. To give you an example that they gave, Spec Ops can run faster because it has faster sprint but has less protection from enemy fire. Whereas the demo class can defuse bombs a lot faster than any other class, but can also take more damage while it's doing it. Obviously the downside to that is it will move slower. So it's quite interesting. You know, it will change the dynamic a little bit depending on the class you play, because you're not only got to think about the weapon you're using but other elements as well. And that could bode well maybe for competitive play, but we'll wait and see. There's going to be 6 classes in all, and there is a video out for the game mode coming from Gamescom, and I'll whack that in the link as well for you to watch. So yeah, check that out. Last of all, in terms of gaming news, Battlefield 3. There isn't really much Battlefield 3 news this week, to be perfectly honest, but I'm sure there will be in the coming weeks with Armored Kill due to drop. Just to whet your appetite, I've put some juicy Armored Kill screenshots in the background for you to ponder. So that's going to be coming out very, very soon. Now, for those of you who have played Close Quarters DLC released, you'll be familiar with DICE's Gunmaster mode, which is of course a take on the very popular mode from Counter-Strike gun game. Now at the minute, there's a set pattern on all of the weapons on Gunmaster, and it's been like that from day one. So when you go in, the gun system or the gun rank up, you know, the order is exactly the same. But DICE are now suggesting that they're considering changing that order or letting the admins to servers change that order to suit themselves. Now that may breathe some life back into Gunmaster. To be perfectly honest, Gunmaster's pretty dead. People played it when it first came out as a novelty, but it's kind of, you know, the novelty's worn off, I think, a little bit now. So we'll see if that actually changes anything. The quote from Daniel Zinto-Matros of DICE simply read, "Today, looking at giving admins more control over what weapon list your Gunmaster can run." So stay tuned for that, and maybe there might be some more news on it soon. I just wanted to wrap up this week with a little bit of information about multiplayer's Insomnia. For those of you who aren't aware of it, Insomnia is a massive LAN event held by Multiplay multiple times over a course of a year, 3 times a year. It's now considered to be the biggest LAN event in the UK. Essentially, it's a chance to meet up with your friends, internet buddies, as well as just basically all chill out for the weekend, relax, play games that we all love. Now, it's not only just about that, though. They have tournaments for most of the popular games, offering prize funds for most of them, for the winners and the runners-up. I myself have attended many I-Series LANs. It wasn't a bit of a hiatus, if you like, though, but I've recently started re-attending them with my Battlefield 3 team. We did really well at the last one, I-45, in May, and we finished 3rd. And we will be attending Insomnia 46, which is in less than a week's time now. And we're hoping to place better. That's the goal anyway. They've got tournaments in all sorts of games now. They've got Shoot Mania, Battlefield 3 on both PC and console, Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox, Counter-Strike Source, StarCraft 2, World of Tanks, Team Fortress 2, Unreal Tournament 2004, COD 4, Minecraft, and that's just naming the ones I can think off the top of my head. As well as that, they've got lots of exhibitions going on from various companies, so it's always a good weekend, you know, to be had if you're a geek like me. If you're from the UK and you like that sort of thing, go check it out. There's plenty of tickets left for the event, but if you don't fancy paying for a full weekend ticket, you can pay £5 and get a spectator pass to come and check it out. So yeah, that's me done. Until the next one, please subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.